episode 44 of Fist of the North Star 1 Point. The keyword for this episode is going to be strength. I used the word power already as a keyword, but what I mean by power is, let's say, like power level in Dragon Ball. That's how powerful you are against your opponent. Now, strength could also mean, let's say, the opposite of weakness, as in a strength could be a quality. So I use this word because I mean these two nuances of the word strength. It's a quality and a power at the same time. In this video, I'd like to talk more precisely about the tiger test that we see for the first time in this episode of the anime. This is so interesting, so I'm very excited to talk about this. My take is that, so when the tiger test is over, Rao tells Kenshiro that the tiger didn't recognize him as a worthy opponent. And so Rao is strong and the tiger just attacked him and Rao beat him, right? And so Kenshiro is not a worthy opponent because he, let's say, doesn't have enough spiritual strength. And the master corrects him and says that the fearsome one is Kenshiro because the tiger accepted death in front of Kenshiro. My take is that Rao is actually right, but it doesn't cancel what the master says. It's a question of perspective. Here's why. We're talking about a martial art of assassination, right? So, a capital thing that you need for a martial art of assassination is to dissimulate yourself. This is a quite spiritual quality, right? So oftentimes you're going to get this idea of detecting the person's aura, for example. So you have to erase your presence, your soul, let's say. By the way, the Hokuto Shinken is the martial art of chaos. It works especially well in the dark and so on, right? So you have that. I think Rao is right. So the tiger couldn't detect, let's say, Kenshiro's aura, Kenshiro's spirit. And so, but it's more precise than that, because why wouldn't a tiger attack a person like that in front of you? If Kenshiro is hidden, then the tiger wouldn't have its maybe sixth sense or something, maybe, but why wouldn't the tiger attack him? Because here's what I want to say. This test is the ultimate test to determine who's going to be the successor, right? Well, Jagi, let's say, is out of conversation. We know why Toki can't be the successor. Now we have Rao is introduced here. So why wasn't Rao the successor? So this is the final test. And why was Kenshiro the one who became the successor? Because my take is that in this test, we can see, or we could guess from this test, that Kenshiro has a fundamentally crucial spiritual quality, which is that he has, let's say, a soft spirit, a spirit of non-opposition. This is, by the way, a very interesting real-life philosophy. It may remind you of Aikido, right? So it's non-opposition. Later, we're going to learn about the water/soft style that Toki wants to teach Kenshiro. Now, Rao has the hard style. Kenshiro too. But why does Toki want to teach Kenshiro the soft style? Because I believe he has it already, but his way of fighting is the hard style. But he has such a spiritual quality of softness that is expressed by in his personality, by his kindness, and the fact that he's actually too gentle and he has to moderate it, and that is expressed by his fighting style, which is rather hard. But his spirit is soft. And so he has a spirit of non-opposition. And the tiger says that the tiger is going to react to their spirit. So I believe the tiger reacts to, let's say, an explosive aura, an aggressive aura. And so Kenshiro was just there, looking at the tiger, and he even put his hand on his head. By the way, when the master says that the tiger accepted death, basically the tiger was already dead. That's very interesting, and that's what Kenshiro does to everyone, right? But that's thanks to Kenshiro's spirit. So when Kenshiro kills everyone, it's not like Rao, terror, right? Just tyranny, destroying everything around because his aura is so aggressive. It's because it's Kenshiro's fate, because Kenshiro doesn't want to kill people. But it's his fate, so he has to do it. So it's not out of violence and, just blowing up like that. It's some sort of soft energy in a sense, and that is even more explicit in Toki's way of fighting that we mentioned in the previous video, right? Because he's compassionate, so he kills in a merciful way. So that's what I think. I think the tiger sees such an energy. Now when he sees Rao, he sees that super fierce aura, and so I don't think Rao is spiritually weaker than Kenshiro. His ambition is so strong that it's not a question of spiritual strength, it's a spiritual quality. That test is to ultimately know who's going to be the successor, and you have to be strong if you want to be the successor of the Hokuto Shinken, but a very important thing is that you have to be someone who has the profile of someone who's going to protect the code and not who's going to ignore it and throw it to the bin. And Rao is going to do that because his aura is out of control and independent. And so that's how you can see that Rao is so fearsome and is going to be troublesome, so powerful. The master says that. But Kenshiro is better because his aura is an aura of tranquility, of calmness, of submission and following. So he's going to follow the code, which is tradition. And of course, the Hokuto Shinken is a martial art of tradition. I think I have other things to say, but I'm going to leave it at this. It's very interesting. It's a bit longer than the other videos. So tell me what you think, and see you soon.